this month, a failed missile test in North Korea led to speculation the United States might have sabotaged it through cyber warfare.
It also prompted questions about whether the same thing could happen to our nuclear arsenal. But how real is this threat? News 4's Luke Moretti has talked to local and international cybersecurity experts in this special report, Safeguarding the Bomb.
Let there be no mistake. We shall completely destroy Japan's power to make war.
Ever since the U.S. dropped atomic bombs on Japan in the mid-1940s, America has come to rely on its nuclear arsenal as the backbone of homeland defense.
If countries are going to have nukes, we're going to be at the top of the pack.
It's estimated there are about 15,000 nuclear weapons in the world today. The U.S. and Russia hold the vast majority, around 90%. Both countries combined have a couple of thousand at the ready for launch within minutes. But some argue the biggest threat today is not a premeditated launch by a nuclear-armed nation, but rather the click of a mouse, a cyber attack that could undermine or compromise nuclear systems.
The weakness of all of this is it needs one malicious actor, either on the inside or the outside. It requires one infected computer, either ported in or already in. And that's the trigger right there. It's one button.
It's been called the new wild card, the notion that a state or non-state actor could break in, interfere with, or sabotage nuclear command and control and weapons systems.
This is not to say that it would be easy to hack into US nuclear weapons, but rather that it is at least theoretically possible. And I think behind the scenes, increasingly, it's something that the Pentagon and others are becoming very much aware of.
Questions about the security of the military's nuclear assets came up in 2013 before the Senate Armed Services Committee.
We are very concerned with the potential of a cyber-related attack on our nuclear command and control and on the weapons systems themselves.
Just this past February, a Defense Science Board report on cyber deterrence recommended an annual assessment of the cyber resilience of the nation's nuclear deterrent against a top-tier cyber threat.
I see a top-tier cyber threat being Russia and China in particular, because they have the ability to threaten the existence of this nation.
The threat is there. The threat is real.
Shambhu Upadhyaya is a University at Buffalo professor of computer science, specializing in cybersecurity. He says there are two types of attacks: physically gaining access to a system or sneaking in through cyberspace.
I would say the weapons facilities, nuclear weapons facilities, are very difficult to break in.
He says a system is only as good as the layers of security built in. His research includes beefing up authentication to keep malicious intruders out.
For example, how you type on the keyboard. You know, the typing keyboard rhythm is unique from individual to individual.
You can tell just by the tap on the keyboard whether that's the same person.
Exactly. Exactly.
These cyber vulnerabilities, is that part of the mix?
Andrew Futter, an associate professor of international politics at the University of Leicester in the United Kingdom, has written extensively about cyber threats and nuclear security.
One of the big things with cyber is you don't know what you don't know.
In a paper for the Royal United Services Institute for Defense and Security Studies, Futter suggests the cyber challenge also involves attempts to compromise or spoof early warning and communication systems.
During a crisis, if you could spoof sensors and planners into believing an attack was underway, then this would be a way of indirectly causing it through cyber means.
This is a constant game of staying one step ahead of the bad guys.
University at Buffalo Associate Professor Arun Vishwanath is a cybersecurity expert. His work involves looking at vulnerabilities inside secure and non-secure facilities.
There are vulnerabilities in all technologies. And anything that's connected to the internet, even if it's on a separate secure network, as long as there are computers involved, there is a possibility of malware, software, hackers getting access.
Where do you see that right now, Tom?
Tom Kalina is the Director of Policy with the Plowshares Fund in Washington, D.C., a global security foundation with an emphasis on reducing the spread of nuclear weapons.
Imagine in the worst case that someone gets in and hacks our computers to tell us that there's a launch, that we're under attack, but we're really not. What do? How do we know? And if we think we're under attack, we launch a retaliatory strike, and we've started a nuclear war.
In response to questions submitted by News 4, the U.S. Strategic Command, which oversees America's nuclear forces, tells News 4 that current systems are cyber secure through a combination of the dedicated cyber forces and built-in cybersecurity. Additionally, nuclear command, control, and communications are comprised of interdependent systems, facilities, and platforms operating through space, air, and terrestrial domains. Stratcom says that it is taking all available measures to protect those systems from intrusion and attack. Luke Moretti, News 4.